Hey y'all, welcome back to Ascending with Ashley. I'm Ashley. This is a collective reading. Today is a full moon in Aries. Niall's in here. We'll see how this goes. Let me put a show on. Hey. I'd like to do work right now. Can we be cooperative? Please. Well, if you don't want Daniel, just put something else on. Also, your shirt is tucked in and it looks silly. Okay. Alright. Put what you want on, but be gentle. I can see you in my computer. You want anything? Anyway, hello. I'm tired today. I think the seasons are finally changing. I'm wearing my pumpkin earrings. I have a lot of Halloween earrings, but Halloween's only one day. So, I washed a bunch of my sweaters yesterday. This one included, because they've just been sitting for a year. And that makes them happy. Thanks for being patient with our ADD over here and our chaos. If you were here yesterday for the fairy cigar box, I don't like how it turned out, so I have to fix it, and then I will share it. But anywho, alright. Let's see what the energy is for the collective to dizzle. Seven of Swords, the Lovers, and the Knight of Pentacles. My initial thought was to just turn the camera off. I'm really sick of this lover shit coming through. Alright, what else? Seven of Wands, make sure you're staying balanced in who you are and what you're doing. Knight of Pentacles, make sure you're staying focused on the world that you are creating for yourself. Maybe you have some new business endeavors, whatever that is for you. Make sure you have this like little, she looks like she's in a crystal ball almost. So protect yourself from anything that isn't balanced, right? Karmic people, lessons. Remember, karmic people serve as lessons. So if you are in some sort of karmic relationship, whatever it is, potential lover, friendship, family, even co-workers, recognizing the karmic attributes of it can be difficult, but it can also be really liberating. And so if you recognize that, like, I'm getting that line from the end of Eat, Pray, Love again, where she says something along the lines of, if you set out on a journey of like understanding yourself or self-growth or whatever, and you take everyone that you encounter as a teacher on that journey, then that's going to help you find your own balance and your own ability to call in a lover who is balanced with you, who is aligned with you, right? She set out on this journey. If you're not familiar with the movie, it's based on a true story. And apparently there's a second part where she, I don't know, we're not going to go there. But if you kind of allow yourself to go through your life with that form of detachment, with that ability to understand that everyone comes, sometimes people come through for a season or for a reason, right? And it's up to you as the main character in your life to decipher what that is. So make sure you have a safe space for yourself. Make sure you stay balanced within yourself, regardless of what offers are coming in for you. If it's not what you know, if you have some sort of expectation in your head, or, you know, if you're ready for like your fairy tale lover, whatever that is for you, you know, if there's certain if there are certain qualities that you're looking for, and the person that you're currently with or the person that you're entertaining does not have those qualities, then allow yourself to think of that as a karmic, right? As a season or a reason, right? As a lesson, right? Versus a blessing. If you can allow yourself to not get emotionally intertwined or entangled with someone that you know isn't packing all of the qualities that you want in a partner. For instance, so there was this one situation that came up for me this past year, and it was, how do I share this without sharing too much? There was a situation where they asked me a question, and I had a thought of why they were asking me that question, but that wasn't why they were asking that question. So I was like, oh, you know, so it was like my initial thought was like, the person that I want to be with would have responded like this, and this is definitely not the response. So I'm gonna note that as not necessarily a red flag, but as a, okay, yeah, no, that's not what I'm looking for, right? So like thinking of it that way. We have the Eight of Pentacles coming out, which is a reminder to continue keeping your head down, working on what it is that you want for yourself, for your life, especially in these times when things are changing so rapidly. If you need any support with that, go ahead and watch the What's Your Calling readings. I've put out to support people who are trying to or forced to do something different, right? Either step into an entrepreneurship or work on something. Make sure that you, with this moon cycle too, today is a Aries full moon. The theme of the moon is like a fiery climax approaches. So thinking about what it is that you want for your life, like if your life was a movie, what would the climax be? Usually the climax has some sort of conflict, right? Because that's how the movie continues, is the a movie is very simple. A movie has this up plot, and then there's a climax where there's some sort of conflict, and then the end of the movie is that conflict being resolved happily ever after, right? I mean, watch any movie, it's pretty much that, regardless of the genre. So, I mean, horror is a little different because it's just like blatantly ridiculous. But there's still that one point at the movie where the main character, the one who's gonna live, is, you know, decides to step into their power, right? I feel like I'm trailing off. Here is the Nine of Wands. This is very much about being careful that you're not holding yourself back from anything. Again, with the Lovers coming out, make sure that what you're allowing in your life is aligned to you. And if it's not, allow it to walk away, right? With this Ten of Pentacles, allow things that aren't aligned to fizzle out, right? If you don't allow it, you're going to end up stuck in your own self-imposed bondage, right? I've spent a lot of years in my life waiting for people to change or to show up in the way that I wish they would. And I've continued to show up the way that I want to show up, right? So don't wait for anyone. Everyone has free will. Remember that. So if you are calling in a lover, make sure that it's not something you're settling for. And make sure it's not something that's going to stand in the way of what you are doing for your goals, right? Ooh, we have Justice coming out. Three of Pentacles comes out every motherfucking reading. And Judgment with the Hangman at the bottom. So Three of Pentacles coming out in between the Judgment and Justice is very interesting. I don't really like the Three of Pentacles. But for the sake of this reading, because it just keeps coming out every fucking reading, let me go ahead and get the little affirmation for it. For me, the image is very much giving, like, triangulation. which is something I know a lot about. So I would say be careful of any sort of imbalance around others. This could also serve as, it's not the Three of Swords, but anytime three is around, I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. Usually when this card comes out, because the macrame is a stoplight, it often gives me caution. Again, like I said, I've had a lot of issues, and I'm getting really hot in my life with triangulation, specifically from my family. So be careful if there are, make sure that the other people that you're collaborating with are also consciously collaborating and not just trying to, steal your work, everything that you worked hard for. I always get a caution with this card. So in this reading, it's sandwiched between justice and judgment. And in the last reading that we used this deck, it came out in reverse. So I feel like there may be some collaborations coming. I think in this time, people are really apprehensive to work with others or invite new people into their lives because of the current environment. But I feel like we can't allow fear to hold us back from making change, right? So if you are aligning with people who are similar to you or have similar desires, I said simple, maybe it doesn't need to be so difficult. Be open to conscious collaborations, but really heavy on the conscious part, not just people who want to work with you, right? Anything else? Maybe that's what the justice is, or maybe that's how you're getting out of your self-imposed bondage, is that the universe is bringing in people who are more aligned with you than the people that you've been around. I think the world is so isolated. Oh, that's so funny. The Hermit, as I'm saying isolation, the Hermit's about being isolated. Ten of Wands, walking away from what doesn't serve you. We had the Knight of Swords coming out. Quick movement, also integrity, going after what it is you want. So we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, both as that. There's a very solid balance of... Oh, shit. That's a lot. Please hold. Okay, we have the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles. That's really fucked. Five energy is change in numerology. Five represents change, but five in the tarot represents despair, seemingly, or some sort of disruption. So Five of Wands is about competition. This is very much the crabs in a barrel. So maybe that's the space that you're in right now, is that you feel like people are silently competing with you, maybe even liberating your work, stealing your ideas, being nice to your face, and behind your back are doing what they can to steal your ideas. I've gotten a lot of those messages lately. For me, it's not, people can't steal my ideas. My brain, my brain is... You cannot tap into my brain and figure out my next move. So I'm not worried about this energy. Hopefully you're not either. As a caution, I would take a little bit more... with this Eight of Pentacles here, you're working hard on something. Don't allow anyone to come in and take it. Again, with this collaboration... Make sure that the people that you're aligning to are indeed wanting to collaborate and not just liberate. And your body will give you those signs. Again, like I already shared that story, I really wish someone would have responded this way, but they responded that way. Those are going to be the moments, there's going to be moments of communication or interaction that you're going to be like, something that's a red flag, right? And I think our generation is getting a lot better at understanding red flags as we've been able to communicate with each other, and share our stories and our cautionary tales, right? We have the Five of Pentacles, which is about being left out in the cold, but it is, again, this key is available. So don't allow yourself to get stuck in this energy. And Five of Cups, emotionally, whatever you've poured into that hasn't worked out, allow it to go. You know, it's kind of the same thing. We already talked about this with that quote from Eat, Pray, Love, right? Allow people to come and go. Don't practice the art of detachment. Practice, really putting trust into whatever it is you believe in yourself, your higher self included. And ask for support. Ask for clarification, right? Like I have a word, like an understanding with my spirit team that the person that I'm meant to be with will say this one word. Technically it's 2 words, but it's my key. It's my key to know that that's the person that I'm supposed to be with, because I don't know, I love heavy, I love hard. So 4 of Pentacles, you may be holding on to something in the material a little too tightly. Don't allow that to get in your own way either, right? Allow yourself to move forward as you feel called. Ooh, the Devil just peeked out. I feel like there's a season of justice coming for a lot of us, especially if you've been on a divine path in some sort of capacity. Because we've got the Lovers and Justice coming out right next to each other, or under each other, but we're looking at all of these other energies that we've either been sifting through or are currently in. And really, ultimately, it's about continuing to work, continuing to focus on what you want, continuing to stay in your own energy until another energy presents itself as worthy to be in your energy, to share your space, right? Allowing yourself to stay in this space of enlightenment, or get there if you're not there yet. Crazy boy. Anything else? King of Cups. Really, really solid in your emotional stability. Not letting anyone rock your boat, right? Allowing people to come and go. This is really, really about allowing the flow of your own life and others to kind of coexist without getting emotionally distraught or involved. There's that, what is that theory? The let them theory? Allowing people to show you allowing people to show you the part that they want to be in your life, right? Or the way that they're supposed to be in your life. Again, a season, a reason, allowing that. And not putting down your expectations for something that's not meeting them, right? Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Anything else? Can you give us a little bit of clarification on the Lovers? Just because it's here. Maybe this is even a breakup. Maybe you're recently going through a breakup. Maybe you're choosing to focus on your career instead of love at this time, or your health in general. Anything else? 20 minutes. The Hierophant, again, focusing on your own consciousness, and the Queen of Swords. Protecting yourself from anything that's not for you, right? And continuing to focus on this elevated consciousness. I think right now we're just supposed to stay in this space of working, of balancing, of our health, right? Finding balance within all of the areas of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, allowing things to cycle in and out, okay? And today with this full moon in Aries, I'm going to be doing some temperance, finding balance. I'm going to be doing some candle magic, or working with some fire element, because this is an Aries full moon. So maybe that's something that you're being called to as well. Just releasing what does not serve, right? Saying fuck bye to everything that is not for you, and allowing yourself to release that, right? And releasing it with, good intentions of like, I hope that, the other person or the other thing, I hope that, it doesn't necessarily need to be like a vengeance situation. It can just be like hey, this doesn't align and I want things that do. Right? Goodbye. Right? Alright, let's get an affirmation. Don't forget to do your moon altars. Aries has very fiery energy, so watch your tempers today. And allow yourself to ebb and flow as it needs to happen. The affirmation for us: collect beautiful moments. No journey is too great if you find what you seek. Let life surprise you. Happiness depends on ourselves. Shine like the whole universe is yours, and come what may. So don't close yourself off to everything. Allow that quote. If you set out on a journey to find yourself, or to love yourself, or for your, figure things out for yourself, which I believe life is all about, right? When we were little, what's life about? Oh, I don't know. Why is the grass green, right? Like those questions, but it's really just like, we're here to grow, we're here to learn, we're here to, share our energy, we're here to find people who align with us. Again, the conscious connections, other people who are consciously creating things that they want to see. Don't just settle for something because of any sort of reason. Make sure that there's this conscious creation or conscious connection for you. And allow people to come and go, okay? Have a good one.